All right, guys. So I know a couple people asked me to talk about this. Um, didn't really have any intention of talking about this, but this guy reached out to me. Your favorite guy, he reached out to me. When somebody asked me to talk about it the other day, I was like, oh, honestly, it's gonna be like a race baiting exchange. It's gonna be stupid. It probably is what's gonna be. I already talk about it. Modern Warrior, like he engages in like race baiting, and then people will respond, and you're like, oh, that guy's racist. And that's pretty much the whole thing. I always talk about just stop engaging. But he asked me to talk about it because I guess this Aunt Karen got involved and started falsely claiming that he said the N word or something. So let's get this going.
A lot of white allies and accomplices ask, how can they support black and indigenous people of color? And sometimes I really don't know what to say, but here's one easy way. Just don't have babies.
Hey Lance, quick question.
That's true. Just don't have babies.
Have you tried respecting white people? Just based on my observations, it seems like you're being a little bit of a hypocrite. And I'm finding it very difficult to stay quiet about this because you have an influence over 3 million people. So I'd like to invite you to stop these hypocritical, anti-white behaviors. You're setting a bad example.
Okay, so I was like, oh, that's really cringe, and it is, but I realized what he was doing. That was just a recreation of basically a recreation of Modern Warriors video to Max Taylor. So it was supposed to be like a cheeky jab like that. Okay, let's keep going.
Anti-white behaviors.
He says, I'm punching up. There's a big difference. Man, this whole this punching up thing is just so silly. It's such a silly thing to do, man. I mean, hatred is hatred. If you want to sit here and be like, oh, hatred from white people towards people of color is worse because there could be more weight behind it, maybe that could be absolutely true, right? I think that it depends on the context, but for sure, right? Those words could speak more. But the thing is that it's still bad. It's still crazy. Like, let's say that a white person being racist towards like an indigenous person, let's say that's a 7 on the racism scale or the prejudice scale. Let's not even engage in the conversation of because I don't care, right? The prejudice scale. But an indigenous person being anti-white or something, let's say that's like a 4, right? Because of the impact, it's less. It's still bad. It's still hatred. It's still bad. It doesn't help. There's no positive aspect. It's like weird. It's an incredible. It's just an incredible thing. It's like, yeah, bad things are okay. But why? It's so silly. Punching up is just so silly. It's just a dumb thing to do. I don't get it. It's just ridiculous, bro.
Hey Lance, this comment's no excuse for your anti-white behaviors. And let me first say, I agree with you. You are punching up. There is a huge difference in the power of each side.
But it also depends on like how are you punching up. Like if a fucking white guy, and denies it. I mean, like, because here's the thing. Obviously, white people are generally in greater positions of power to have influence over things like jobs. Mostly, it's like jobs and shit like that, or access to particular things. But when it's like a one-on-one exchange of like, oh, I hate white people, oh, I hate indigenous people, it's really the same thing. I feel like you're not gonna have this profound, like, this fucking 16-year-old kid. It's not going to have the same, it's not going to have more impact than, if anything, Modern Warrior has a very large platform and he perpetuates hatred. So if anything, like, indigenous people overall definitely much more oppressed than like white people, but Modern Warrior has a massive influence, so his words carry much more weight and his hatred is actually much more intense. He tries to like cancel people and shit sometimes, and a lot of them it's like race baiting. So he'll say something racist or prejudiced, and then somebody will respond with that racism, a white guy, and they'll be like, "Oh, look at this white person." It's all, but individually, Modern Warrior has more power than most other people. So,
but you can't beat fire with fire. You're honestly just adding to the flames. Not only on the post where you said white people should not produce, but on 90% of your page. You claim you're an activist, you claim you educate people, but all I see on your content is fighting. All I see is hate from both sides. I would like to ask you to stop fanning the flames. I understand that...
Was that a joke, fanning the flames? Or are you saying that indigenous people would dance around the fire and fan the flames? Racism, am I right, guys?
You're standing...
I hope that you guys got the joke.
...up for yourself, and you have the entire right to do so. But your content is race baiting. And I'm finding it very hard to give you respect because you harbor one of the most negative communities on TikTok. I wish that some other indigenous creators on this app had the platform that you have.
Well, they don't, because a lot of them don't do this like hatred push thing.
Because they actually use their content to educate and change
Yeah, Modern Warriors sending mixed smoke signals. God, you guys are fucking so dumb.
people's minds. I promise that if you cut out all negativity from your content, people would listen to you. People would change their minds. Hey, Lance. This comment's no.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I get what he's saying. I'm just at a point where I'm like exhausted with it. He's not necessarily wrong. It's a little cringe. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just like I stop engaging with Modern Warrior. It just doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to educate him. There's something that a coworker of mine told me. Very profound thing that he told me when I was like younger, but I was like 20 or something. He was like, you know, if you have a disagreement with somebody, if you are able to educate them and get them to change their perspective, all you've done is make them a better person. And at this point, you know, why are we really trying to make Lance a better person? He's not receptive to it anyway, and he doesn't deserve to be a better person because he's a very hateful guy. So, all right, here's a Modern Warrior video. Hey, Colonizer. Check it out, guys. Check us out. Hey, Colonizer. See, I can narrate this whole thing. You're a colonizer, colonizer, colonizer. That's pretty much the whole video, but we're going to watch it just so that we can...
Hey, Lance.
I'm getting like the chills, man. Oh, Colin is now the name. Colin for colonizer. What if we start naming our kids a Colin? I'm gonna name my kid Colin. I'm gonna give you. I'm reclaiming the word now. What are you gonna do about it when I reclaim it?
No.
Maybe I'll make it colonizer. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing.
No excuse for your anti-white behaviors. And let me first say, I agree with you. You are punching up. There is a huge difference in the power of each side.
The only reason he's punching up is because he's so short. You know what I'm saying?
But you can't beat fire with fire.
When you say anti-white rhetoric, are you referring to reverse racism? If so, reverse racism is a myth. You see, there are assumptions and stereotypes about white people. That's called racial prejudice, not racism.
Okay, so here's the thing. It does. I disagree. I disagree. I believe that like it's racist. There's a difference between individual racism and systemic racism, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because even if you go by the idea that racism, you can't be racist towards white people because of the power and everything. Okay, prejudice is still bad. Like I don't understand. It's still a bad thing, and this is the biggest reason why I don't like the change. If everybody was like, "Hey, listen, the reason I want to change." It's like racism and prejudice is so that we can have like societal conversations about this stuff so that people would understand. Okay, I could honestly be fine with it. The problem is that every single person that I see pushing the idea you can't be racist towards white people, they do it so that they can be prejudiced towards white people and they can downplay it. And that's the problem. They're just doing it to perpetuate hatred. So I don't like that definition. It's just intentionally being hateful and it's just so dumb. So it's just done, and like he's doing it right here. You can't be racist or white people. It's just prejudice. It's still bad. Who cares? I don't understand.
Some example of racial prejudice for white people is white people can't dance, or
It's not true. Dance pretty well.
white people can't season their food.
Those are funny, you know, like or black people are allowed in the movie theater, or indigenous people smoke or something. You know, in the right context, you guys can make funny jokes about those things. You know, it's like whatever. Those are your light examples of prejudice, we'll say. You know, the much more hurtful ones, obviously, you shouldn't be perpetuating.
This is not racism because of the systemic relationship to power. When it's backed with power and privilege, then this results in discrimination and oppression of groups or individuals. And when you say fight fire with fire, you do realize white people started it, right?
You're honestly just adding to the flames. Not only on the post where you said white people should not produce, but on 90% of your page.
It's really funny that a lot of folks similar to you reacted similarly, but will stay quiet when undocumented women were forced to be sterilized in ICE detention centers from 2018 to 2020.
You know what's really fucked up is like the unfortunate thing is that he only talks about that stuff to when it's like a virtue signal. Honestly, man, like there's some fucked up shit. I talk about it like somewhat often on the platform. I remember hearing this story in Alaska, where I believe it was an indigenous woman got knocked out. A guy choked her out, and then like I think he took her shirt off and then jerked off and came all over her. He got away scot-free. Like there's real issues with indigenous people, especially like just getting treated like absolute shit. But we don't talk about, he doesn't talk about it really, except for when it's time to justify his own prejudice against white people. Yeah, it's just fucked up. You know, it's like, you know, you can't be so selective. Most of your content is just like hatred. And then the second somebody calls you on it, you're like, yeah, but guess what? There's really bad things going on. It's like, okay, but your shit's still not good either. And it's not helping the conversation. You're not really raising awareness. You're just using these points to defend your hatred. You're weaponizing the oppression of the people that you identify with to justify your hatred. And you don't really educate people about it unless it's time to be like, oh, I need an excuse. I need an excuse to be a dick. It's like, okay. It makes you very dishonest and very disingenuous. And it's not somebody that's not worth listening to.
All I see is hate from both sides.
So my question to you is, then why am I the only one receiving this address? Why are you not making efforts to address your white peers who are blatantly racist to me and the indigenous community?
So, there's no large white creator in any capacity that does that. I mean, that's would really be the answer. And that's the thing. Like I said, like Lance will be very, very prejudiced. He'll say like some dumb fucking ignorant shit about white people, which you guys have to just start ignoring it. Who cares? It's just, it doesn't matter. And then it'll be like some dumb fuck racist redneck who will respond and be like, hey, fuck you, you know? And then Lance has a justifiable response. But like, there's no large content creator promoting this hatred. Like, that's why. Again, like, there's no nuance here. Like, you need to make, this is not a good point.
Because from how I see it, you're addressing me.
And also by you like playing the race baiting game, you're creating more of the hatred. And so like you are responsible, at least on TikTok, I'm not saying in real life, but you're partially responsible for a lot of the, like some of the hatred in these areas on TikTok.
In order to shield them. That's pathetic.
I would like to ask you to stop fanning the flames.
So you're saying it's okay for white racist individuals to attack me all day long.
We already talked about it, but again, that's not really how it works. He will be race bait, they'll respond, then he gets to go, look at these are bad guys, blah, 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 blah.
Only
blah,
if
blah.
I turn a cheek and smile.
I mean, you could also just be like, yo, this guy's a racist piece of shit. Jesus, bro, why are you so fucking hateful? That's not what you do, though. He's like, hey, colonizer. You know what I mean? Just saying, man.
I understand that you're standing up for yourself, and you
chill.
have the entire right to do so. But your content is race baiting.
I like that. Boom!
What you're doing now is tone policing me. You're giving me permission to defend myself. Only if...
Well, you're not really defending yourself. For the most part, like, you're race baiting, and then you get to respond to it. Like, it's a good system to make money, but, you know.
I don't hurt your feelings.
It's a solid Charlie Kirk game, you know what I mean?
Have absolutely no right to tell me what is or is not offensive to me or other Black, Indigenous people of color.
I really don't like the grouping of like BIPOC people into one category, because honestly, whether you want to hear this or not, historically, it's been a way that we like that the United States has basically erased the issues of specifically Black people and like not given a shit. You really shouldn't categorize everybody together. Because then what happens is like we'll implement a thing. And it's like, oh look, BIPOC people are doing really well. They're doing better. And it's like, but the lowest, like the Black people, which are the lowest performing because of, you know, systemic racism, they don't have any kick up. And you know what? That's a good point too. Indigenous people too. I think that Indigenous people are probably very similar to Black people. I think that they still perform better. Maybe I don't. But like, yeah, I think even saying BIPOC, I think it erases Indigenous people too. You know, that's a good point. I wouldn't say BIPOC because like I think Indigenous people are struggling. So what happens is like, oh look, we're treating BIPOC people really well, but Indigenous people and Black people haven't really gotten a leg up. So it's like, yeah, Hispanic people are doing pretty well. So that must mean that all non-whites are doing well. I think that just the label of BIPOC is almost like, are Indigenous people the lowest performing? Well, there you go. That's not what I've seen. I feel like that may not be true. I'll look into it after. But I think you understand my point, is that this is generally an erasure of issues, and it actually hurts your own narrative.
It's not race baiting to stand up against insensitive actions and words.
Okay. Oh, we're still
And
going.
I'm finding it very hard to give you respect because you harbor one of the most negative communities on TikTok.
I don't understand why you think it is I'm trying to gain your respect. And the only way to do that is if I play by the terms that you set.
What? Because he's white? This kid's 16. I don't think he has much impact on society.
Wish that some other indigenous creators on this app had the platform that you have, because they actually use their content to educate and change people's minds.
So you don't think I belong here? I'm not here to entertain you.
Great point. Okay. Okay. But yeah, like that, Lance, he's responding to your video telling white people not to reproduce. How's that okay? Like, listen, I understand it's a joke. The problem is that the intention of the joke from, like, I know the intention of the joke from Lance is like, there's a level of like truth to it. That's the problem, right? So like, I've had a stint on TikTok where people, I remember like a very good friend of my, Blackbird, I made a joke and he's like, bro, I didn't think you were joking. And once people once you lose that credibility of benefit of the doubt, like you're not a content creator that gets to make these types of jokes. Like I used to make jokes all the time, and then like my content shifted and it got bad. And Blackbird, a very good friend of mine, he's like, bro, I can even tell when you're joking on your sarcastic shit, but this joke, it just didn't come off as a joke to me. That's what Modern Warrior is, man. Like he's not somebody, he's not like a comedian that makes jokes like, oh yeah, it's because it would be a funny joke, but he's like an intentionally divisive hateful person, excuse me. That's where you kind of lose like that. It was just a joke type of a thing. All right, let's see what we got here. More responses here.
When you say anti-white
This whole thing is fucking cringe, bro. This is whole cringe, bro.
rhetoric, are you referring to reverse racism?
Hey Lance, no, when I said that, I was referring to your many racist remarks towards white people. In
See,
particular,
this is the thing is now Modern Warrior just gets to say, well, it's not racism because technically this. And it's like, okay,
the video where you say that white people should not reproduce.
I don't think Lance's platform needs to be taken away. I mean, like, that's, bro, I just don't like that kind of shit. Like, I just think that he needs to just stop race baiting. That's it. That's the only thing I have an issue with. It's just annoying.
Or have babies. Lance, I made a
Bro, you want to know what the best way to help BIPOC people? Whatever. Don't not have babies. Start fucking people of color. Boom. Get a black girlfriend. Boom. Boom. There you go. Then your kid's black. Boom. Fuck a Hispanic girl. Boom. Your kid's Hispanic. That's all you gotta do, bro. That's all you gotta do. And that's all. Quick math. Boom. Done. That's it.
made a very
Eventually, we'll all just be a bunch of gray blobs. Done. Boom. I'll do my part. I'll start fucking a girl from every race or ethnicity, and I'll have a bunch of kids, and boom. There you go. So if I can have like seven people of color kids of color, then I can just have a kid with my wife, and then I actually did a positive thing for the world. Boom. Boom. There you go. Boom.
light video telling you how that was not okay. But in your response, you strawmanned and deflected my entire argument. You said I was tone policing you. Lance, calling out hateful behavior is not...
My wife said I'll die if I do that, so sorry, guys. Well, then that works out, because then another white person's dead, so... everything works out in the end.
Tone policing. I am honestly tired of you perpetuating hate, racism, and a very toxic community on your page. In my opinion...
Max Taylor is such a fucking sweetheart. He's right here. He's like, it honestly must be exhausting carrying that much hate in your heart. It's just like, it's coming from Max. Like, if it came from anybody else, I would be like, dude, what a virtue signal. But I think Max is actually that genuine. He's like, that must be so sad. Like, he probably actually thinks that's a real thing. Or it is a real thing, but he probably like really thinks that's upsetting. He probably is genuinely upset by that.
Someone who claims to be an activist and claims to fight racism, but who also supports eugenics, should not have the platform that you have.
I mean, listen, eugenics isn't that bad, right? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, do we really need people with peanut allergies to be alive? Like, you're fucking useless, bro. A little nut is gonna kill you. Yeah, let's get rid of those. What are you doing? What the fuck is the matter with you, bro? I'm just saying. What the fuck is the matter with you? Oh, I'm allergic to milk. Bro, really? Kind of sad. You're gonna be taken down by a bean or some cow piss. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with you? Grow up. That's all I'm saying. Is grow up. Can't have peanut butter. Oh, can you please make sure that they don't put anything peanut related close to my food? I say, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't drink normal milk because I'm trying to be good for the environment. You know what I drink? I drink oat juice. I drink a bean. I drink a fucking nut. I drink nut juice, okay? I'm not allergic. That's a conscious choice. Just don't be allergic, bro. Grow up. That's what I'm saying, dude.
You live in a bubble. You could be using your platform for so much. You could show people how beautiful your culture is. You could show
This is just getting a little preachy at this point.
people the history and the racism you experience.
but instead you
I wonder how much racism Lance actually does experience, because obviously indigenous people in general do experience racism, but you know, I wonder how much individual racism there is in Lance's field. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously different people that live in different areas with different identities experience different things. You know, like obviously it's better overall for like black people in the north than it is for the south or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
choose drama and you choose to perpetuate hate because it gets you more money.
Probably get some more views. Thank you. Let's get this man off the app. I heard sharing him, so feel free.
Hey, Colin.
Okay. It is a little weird that he's having, I guess, whole altercation with a kid, but you know what? I guess I've been there too. All right, is this
Modern racist is probably a name you have heard before. Modern warrior
this?
cannot handle criticism and uses an array of manipulation tactics in order to win arguments against people he doesn't like. His shoulders must hurt from all the reaching he does. Over the past year, it has been revealed how hateful Modern Warrior is. I called him out for his hatred towards white people, especially in a video where he claims that white people should stop having babies. Instead of giving a mature response like would be expected from a 36-year-old, Lance justified his actions, quote,
Well, so here's my thing, is that like I would have no problem. I probably wouldn't talk to Lance because I don't think that he's an educational source. I know there's other TikTokers on TikTok, well, indigenous TikTokers. I'd have no problem with one of them coming on. Like if they reached out to me, I know I'm lazy because I don't know what the fuck their accounts are. And then, or maybe you guys can send me their accounts or something, and I could take a look at some of their content, and then maybe I could have a conversation with them about indigenous issues. That would be great, actually. But I don't think I would do Modern Warrior because it would just turn into an argument. There wouldn't be anything positive out of it. It would just become fucking stupid. I'm so chilly.
white people
Fuck.
started it. Modern Warrior is
I had a fucking fever before. I was cold sweating. Now I'm just dying.
a very racist individual who profits off of negativity. And when I pressed him for an actual response, what he did was take a picture of my video, green screened it, and just said, "Hey, colonizer," in an attempt to attack my character.
Yeah, I did reach out to him at one point. Well, because he pushed like this he pushed this bullshit video out before. So I had like I made a video a while ago on TikTok. It was one of the reasons. It was the reason why a lot of people disliked me. It was if she's old enough to bleed, she's old enough to breed. And then I said, thank you very much, Andre Lopez, for the advice. So the joke was that Andre Lopez allegedly slept with a 14-year-old at 23. So I was kind of raise awareness. Didn't really hit. Some people knew what I was saying, but wanted to deplatform me. Some people didn't understand the joke. Either way, it was inappropriate. And then he like brought it up when I made like a video a while ago. And I reached out to him, I'm like, bro, like, you know, you're wrong on this. And I said a bunch of whatever. And he just never like responded to it or anything. Yeah, I mean, that's usually what happens though. People don't really have any nuance when it comes to, or like they don't really care about like the truth. It's all about how you can discredit somebody and move past it.
But all it did was prove that he has nothing. And now he is trying to run away from his consequences. Modern Warrior.
Where does your indigenous partner live? Like on what reservation? Like what area? Because I actually might want to have a conversation with that person. That could be pretty cool. Why don't you reach out to me, DM?
Racist.
Hey,
Modern Warrior, or as many like to refer to as Modern Racist.
I don't know. I feel like I don't refer to him as anything. I just go like this. Oh God! Every time you send me a video about him.
Hey, colonizer. You know, when I hear a white person call any black, indigenous person of color a racist, I get very strange vibes from them.
This guy really just wants to be black, bro. I'm pretty sure that's all it is, dude. He just wants to be invited to the cookout, bro.
For the past 36 hours or so, you've made about 8 posts about me. And I know what you're doing. It's called sea lioning. Pause.
Let's see. Harassment tactic by which a participant in a debate or online discussion pesters the other participant with disingenuous questions under the guise of sincerity. Kind of sounds like Lance, hoping to erode the patience or goodwill of the target to point out where they're. Oh, yeah. That just kind of sounds. I don't think that that's what he's doing. I think that the both of them are kind of just being petty at this point. Like, there's no getting through to him. But okay.
Pause to read. You say that I hate white people, when in reality I'm standing up for myself and my community against racist, ignorant, bigoted individuals. If you equate racist, ignorant, bigoted individuals to all white people, you are the problem.
True. All white people are racist, bro. It's funny. You know, back in my day, it was funny when white people were kind of racist. Like, black people would be like, you're just so dumb. Like, honestly, listen, I'm not saying like black people love me, but like I'm just a dumb fucking white guy that just doesn't get it. And sometimes it's just funny. That's how things used to be. It was like, wow, you're a fucking idiot. You remember like Jamie Kennedy and the fucking Malibu's Most Wanted? Like that's what I'm talking about. Some like dumb fuck white guy that just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Like that used to be funny. He was just making fun of white people for trying to be cool, you know? Oh, God,
You are the living embodiment of white supremacy.
Come on, that's incredibly dishonest. Like that's just a stupid thing. You think this kid is this is a 16-year-old that's getting offended, like overly offended by a grown man, like race baiting. That's pretty much what it is. And now he's a white supremacist. It's kind of shitty, bro. It's a little shitty because, you know, we talk about the alt-right pipeline sometimes and like the Ben Shapiro memes that push you there. There's an aspect of it that we don't talk about, and that's a lot. Sometimes like people on the left harassing the fuck out of somebody on the like what's more moderate or in the right, whatever, over something that they may just be uninformed about. They might say something and then people are like, oh wow, you're a racist piece of shit. And I tend to agree with the other kid, but even if you don't, it doesn't make him a white supremacist. And when you label somebody something and you just keep reinforcing it, especially with a large audience to continuously do it, it pushes people in that direction. It's the same thing if you call like your daughter a whore. If everybody calls you call your daughter a whore, everybody calls your daughter a whore, she starts being like, okay, well, you know what? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, you know, I feel like just randomly labeling people white supremacists is ridiculous. Like at best, even if you disagree with me, that kid's just kind of ignorant. That's it. He's not a white supremacist. So it's fucking ignorant shit.
With the mop head. I'm not calling you a white supremacist. I'm saying white supremacy is benefiting you because...
What? You just called him a white supremacist, you fucking...
With the mop head.
Dude,
I'm not
what?
You are the living embodiment of white supremacy.
You're calling him a white supremacist. That's saying that somebody is a living embodiment of something isn't saying that they benefit from him. Sure, white people benefit from white supremacy, but that doesn't make them the living embodiment. Because by that logic, that means all white people are the living embodiment of white supremacy. And now white supremacy doesn't mean anything because everybody is that. Words don't matter anymore. You know, potato is fart. You know what I mean? Like everything doesn't matter.
With the mop head. I'm not calling you a white supremacist. I'm saying white supremacy is benefiting you.
You just see how like the pseudo-intellectual bullshit. Like it's just so dumb. This is why why do people care about what this motherfucker says?
Because you, a 12-year-old boy, told me, an indigenous man, how I should react when I experience racism.
Well, you should just probably stop race baiting, and then you wouldn't have to be such a dickhead. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Now I gotta go. It's Appa's birthday. Here's a photo.
Oh shit, I thought that was gonna be the fucking thing from Avatar: The Last Airbender, bro. Doesn't look anything like Appa. This guy, that's the biggest fucking sin that this guy's ever done. The entire world. This is fucking ridiculous. Okay.
Let's see.
All right, this is really going on. This is really going on for so long.
Mop head.
Dude is beefing with a 16-year-old boy and losing. He doesn't have anything to say, so he just makes fun of how I look.
I would just say, like, if this guy's watching this guy, like, he's young, and, like, I think he thinks what he's doing is right, but it's just getting cringe, and it's like, it's just not worth doing this, you know?
It's about the equivalent of saying your mom in an argument. Just because you say I'm something doesn't make me one. And it's pretty late, so I'm going to make, like, a real response tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, guys.
Okay.
And as always, I love you.
It's getting even more petty.
Hey, Lance.
When I hear a white person call any black, indigenous person of color a racist, I get very strange vibes from them.
Lance, this is the
Does it make you horny? Get like a little vibe in your belly?
third video you have made about me, and yet you still fail to address the points. Instead, you deflect the argument every single time. Which is, why do you think white people should stop having babies? Why do you perpetuate hate? Why do you race bait? And why do you deflect every argument I've ever directed at you and act childish in your responses? You are constantly hypocritical and backtracking on yourself. I will wait for you to address my points. In the meanwhile, you are making fun of me for how I look, and you are using very childish arguments.
You are the living embodiment of white supremacy.
Same.
With the mop head.
It's just sad that in order to win an argument, you come at a 16-year-old's looks. It does
You come at a 16-year-old.
not matter whether you believe that you can be racist to white people or not.
What it comes down to is that you're hateful.
Yeah, actually, I like that comment somebody said. As a black person, I don't think my needs are really addressed under the BIPOC umbrella. It feels like a way to minimize the true needs of each of the groups. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say before. I think that it's actually a little dangerous to consider people like BIPOC overall instead of trying to specifically address those issues. You know what I'm saying? Because even Asian people are part of like the BIPOC label, and Asian people tend to perform better than white people. And I know what's interesting is I'm not saying that Asian people benefit from like white privilege. What I am saying, what's something interesting to note is that I think Asian people have the largest disparity of wealth between themselves. So there's like a lot of really poor Asian people, and then there's like a lot of really rich Asian people, kind of a thing. But what I'm saying is like if you calculate them as part of BIPOC, all of a sudden it doesn't look so bad for BIPOC people. You know, and that's why it's not really a good idea to collectively add those. And even Asian is just such a massive thing. That's such a massive label as well. So.
Hey, colonizer.
Hey, Lance.
I hear a white.
Okay, we got through that. All right, what's next? Okay, so then this is like the bullshit with Aunt Karen. Anyway, I guess they DM'd each other. He sent me this. Let's see what we have to say. So Aunt Karen said, I find it interesting that you're attacking Modern Warrior when earlier this year you put me in a group chat with your friends while you guys called me a monkey, gorilla, and the N-word. Not only that, did you intentionally make racist comments and try to humiliate me? Are you going to make a video response and tell your followers that? I'd love to pull out the screenshots and recordings. You're intentionally pushing racism to grow your following. You tried to do it with me, and now you're doing it with Modern Warrior. So I'm going to talk about this in a little bit. I'm going to actually bring up the DMs and stuff. I don't think that he's being racist there. From what I read in the message that he said to me is that there was a group chat with people and he was part of it. He wasn't actually the leader of it, but those people were berating the shit out of Aunt Karen. That's what he told me. The problem I have with that is that if you kind of just sit there and don't really do anything, if you don't leave or if you don't speak up and defend her, then you are part of the problem. Even if you weren't saying like the horrible things, you're complicit if you're just going to sit there silently, unless you think they were going to kill you if you defended her. This is just what he told me. He said the situation she's referring to is a group chat over Instagram with me, her, and 4 other people of color. 4 other people of color who had me add her to the group chat. My intentions were to have a conversation with her about some of the stances she has. The other people began berating her relentlessly for like 20 minutes. I didn't predict it would happen, and I told them multiple times to stop it. Okay, so he said he needs to stop. Sorry, my COVID brain's fucking me up. And I did not join in. I wasn't able to remove Aunt Karen from the group chat because the only admins can do that. Aunt Karen didn't really say anything to them, but just watched. She left the group chat, and that was that. I stopped interacting with those people for what they did. It was in March. Okay, so it sounds like he actually handled it fairly well. I guess they were people of color too. I don't really know. Yeah, it's fucking COVID brain, bro. Let me tell you, I am the least intelligent I've ever been. I'm feigning intelligence. It's a good thing I'm already dumb because this COVID brain makes me feel dumber. Okay, I assure you don't approve of that, and I don't interact with them anymore. I'm sorry that happened. Are you kidding me? You're sorry. You never said sorry until I just approached you on it. You're only apologizing now because I'm confronting you about the truth. I didn't call you the N-word. In fact, I think I told them not to say that. You know exactly what you're doing. Okay, so if they called her the N-word, it doesn't really matter if they're people of color. I'm assuming they mean with like a hard R. So, I mean, like it's unacceptable for anybody to call anybody that. Well, anybody to call a black person that. Well, you shouldn't be saying in general, but you get my point. Yes, the school system is racist, but that's not why I reached out to you. May I make an analogy? Please do. Hey, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Hey, when you're not busy, could you reply? Thanks. This doesn't fit racism. What? Why do you feel that way? I assigned the analogy and explained the points it makes. It's flawed. Where's the analogy? What the fuck? I don't even know what's happening here. Okay. Before we watch the Aunt Karen video, I have these 2 videos he sent me.
Conversation.
I guess this is a live that they had together. Let's see what we got here.
Entire conversation.
I did record the entire conversation.
Okay.
I never said like the conversation is sitting right in front of me. I sent you that message this morning. You want?
No, I'm talking about. You said
Is that a donation? What the hell was that? The sunglasses.
You recorded the group chat, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. And you're saying I said the N-word in there.
Sit down. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have the recording. You claim that it said the N-word. You don't have it anymore?
No.
Odd, bro. Dude, how can you say that I said the N-word? It was literally this guy right here. He's freaking black, bro.
Were they saying it with like an A? I don't even know what's going on.
You just pulled this out of your ass because I apologize. because I was trying to be a nice person to you.
This is just a fucking like a dumb mess, bro.
You
Okay,
have
well,
no
okay,
problem
Aunt Karen,
with your family.
Aunt Karen, I'm telling you now that
Mhm.
you misconstrued what I apologized for. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
That
And
wasn't
I'm
an
telling-
admission of
Okay.
my friends. This guy probably did say the N-word towards you.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's African American.
Mm-hmm.
I did not. And so now that we have that established, can you either remake your video or private it and correct yourself? Because that's false information.
No, I believe you said the N-word. I remember you saying the N-word. So give me.
No, you don't.
Why would you,
You
delete
remembered
it,
a
though?
jumbled chat with 5 people,
Mhm.
and somebody called you the N-word, and it fits your narrative that I said it.
Okay, that's how you choose to do it. You didn't stop anybody. You were very much there.
Okay, well, that's two different things. Like, yeah, he probably could have been better about saying like, "Yo, we need to stop this," or like leave out of it. Probably even apologize to her sooner. Be like, "Yo, I'm really sorry. Those people are pieces of shit." But the fact that she said she had a recording, and now she said that she had it. I have it, and then she's like, "I had it." You know what I mean? Like, it's just very dishonest. It's a heavy accusation to leverage against someone to be like, "Hey, he said the N-word." You know, like it's obviously it's very easy to cancel people with that. You need to make sure that you know what the fuck you're talking about. Let's see what we got here.
Is race baiting, and I'm finding it very hard to give you respect.
This kid is a literal joke. The epitome.
It's just so weird. And like, listen, when I made videos on TikTok, I would make fun of kids too. I'm not gonna lie, right? I would make fun of like the fucking weird kids. All right, I know it's shitty of me, but like, I feel like this is weird. Everybody involved in this is cringe. The only difference is this is a young kid, so it's more okay for you to be cringe. You don't really know too much better, you know. He'll move on. But like, this is TikTok. Like, this is TikTok commentary now. It's just a bunch of people yelling at a fucking kid because the adults are too bored to deal with this shit. That's pretty much it. This is so fucking dumb, bro. Oh my god. Like, these people are a fucking joke. Mostly, honestly, Aunt Karen and Modern Warrior. This kid's 16.
of white supremacy. The poster child smiling just like that with a mop of hair of white privilege.
What's up with like the mop thing? Why did her and Modern Warrior keep making fun of his mop hair? What does that have to do with racism? I'm so confused.
This is why he bothers me, because he's attacking Modern Warrior, talking
I wouldn't say he's attacking. He's criticizing him. But
about race baiting, as
True.
if he didn't attack me months ago. So what do you mean by attack, Aunt Karen?
yeah, let's.
Well, he put me in a group chat on Instagram.
Well, we already know that that's not really honest because he wasn't the admin, so he couldn't really put them in the group chat. I mean, maybe I'm just a boomer.
With about 4 of his friends, in which the sole purpose was to berate me.
What I think is a little weird, and like obviously what happened to her shitty, even if it was black kids calling her fucking the N-word, it's still terrible. What I think is kind of weird though, and like I'm 31 years old, Aunt Karen is probably my age. I think it's really weird that you went into a group chat with children on Instagram. That's fucking weird to me. Like, why are you doing that? Like, I'm very, very apprehensive about responding to younger fans because I just find it very uncomfortable for grown people to like fucking respond to kids in a private group chat. It's weird. It's a very weird thing because you're like an adult and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know? I'm just saying. So what the fuck what are you doing? Now, if you were like, hey, you're a bigger creator, let's have a conversation on Instagram Live or something or whatever, especially if you're going to record it, I'd be like, okay, I get it. Because there's a content creator versus content creator. I get it. But like, you're fucking privately DMing kids. It's just, I'm not saying that she's doing anything. Like, she's not trying to get with the kids. Like, that's not the accusation at all. But it's weird that you think that that's not weird, you know?
And by berating me, he called me the N-word. His friends called me the N-word.
We already kind of verified the first part's not true. Second part seems to be true, though.
And this chat went on for 20 minutes. I recorded it,
Show it. Just show it to us.
watched as he and his friends attacked me from every angle.
It's very interesting. And listen, I don't even blame her for this. She went in there to record it to see if they'd say anything like rude to her, which is not a bad play. I'm not even shaming her for that. But like, if you went in there with the sole purpose of trying to get them to say bad things to cancel them, and now you conveniently deleted the evidence, why? Why would you do that?
Called me a monkey, a gorilla.
Oh, what the fuck did I just do?
He tried to give me today when I confronted him about
Sorry.
it. Here's where he
Sorry.
watched as he and his friends attacked me from every angle, called me a monkey, a gorilla, made fun of my features, made fun of me for being darker than some other people. So when it amazes me that this guy wants to talk about race baiting and wants to talk about, you know,
it's so sad that like this grown woman is lying about like what he said. Like, why don't you have the evidence? It's really shitty. Because this is a grown woman intentionally trying to cancel a kid. Like, I recorded it, but it disappeared. It's really shitty. She's trying to ruin a child's life. I want you to understand that. Because it's a big deal. She wants to ruin this kid's life by making false accusations about him. And it's really pathetic, honestly. And then Karen does this. She engages in cancel culture, but this is really fucked up. Like, it's childish. She doesn't have any evidence, even though she said that she did. It's not like she was like, I was in a group chat and I got fucking blindsided and everybody called me the N-word. She's like, I went in there, I fucking recorded it, I was ready for it, and I just fucking, I don't know, I shit too hard one day and my phone fell and I deleted the video. It's like, what?
He's disappointed in Modern Warrior. Well, you know what? Modern day society is disappointed in you.
Not really, bro. Probably don't even know who he is.
And just for those of you,
the internet's probably, your followers might be disappointed in him.
Who think that, oh, I'm lying. Let's show the apology he tried to give me today when I confronted him about it.
Let's see. You put me in a group chat with your friends while you called the monkey grill the N-word, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, we read this already.
He offers that half-ass apology. I assure you I don't...
Okay, yeah, it sounds like she's being very dishonest about it. We already went through it. We already watched the part where she was like, she basically admitted she doesn't have any of the evidence that she said that she had originally.
Proof of that, and I don't interact with them anymore.
Isn't it crazy? Modern society this doesn't approve of you or whatever. Bro, TikTok is not the real world, motherfucker. The internet's not the real world, motherfucker. Go outside. I hate how content creators, this is the biggest problem I have with all content creators. Once they get like big on like the internet, all of a sudden their entire world is the internet and they don't go outside and they think that anything matters on the internet. They think that it actually matters. Like, bro, think about this. Imagine like this huge topic. Huge fucking topic. I don't know. What's a big topic? Let's talk about like fucking like Trisha Paytas and H3 splitting up. Frenemies. Huge thing. Millions of views. Go outside your fucking house and go ask anybody. Oh, so who's Ethan? Who's Ethan Klein? What are you saying to me? The internet is not the real fucking world, bro. The internet collects like-minded people from all over the place, right? And it's like, here you go. Here's your space. That's why there's a big fucking emergence of like zoophiles. They're like, I love to fuck dogs or be fucked by dogs. Because it's not like the fucking weirdo in one town, you know? That weirdo in one town has the ability to reach across the whole fucking world. So now there's like 12 weirdos. It's not a lot, but it's enough for them to be fucking weird. And all of a sudden communities grow. That's how this works. No, shut the fuck up. Okay, Twitter, TikTok, these aren't really the real world. Now, they can bleed over. But also, you gotta have to understand, you don't matter. I don't matter either. But you guys act like you... the way that I feel is disappointed in you, and that's how the world feels about you. Shut the fuck up. Most people are exhausted by you. If they watched you for 5 seconds, they'd be like, no, thank you. This is boring as shit. That would be what it would be. This is... People... And it's the same thing with me. But I don't act like... Oh, the world's disappointed. Shut the fuck up, bro. I'm a fucking fat 31-year-old making content commentary on fucking YouTube. I don't matter. And she doesn't matter either. Let me tell you, okay? None of us matter. Stop acting like you do. It's kind of pathetic.
I'm sorry that happened. You're sorry? You intentionally put me in a group chat with your friends so you could berate me and humiliate me.
I don't think that he intentionally did that, or else he wouldn't have apologized originally or whatever, but okay.
But you're sorry that it happens and I'm supposed to feel, satisfied you don't talk to them anymore? You are a racist.
I mean, that is a good step. Oh, they were being shitty to you? They're not my friends anymore. That's actually one of the things that you would do. You're supposed to disconnect yourself from like racist friends. Yeah. Especially ones like that. That's not even like a little bit of like I feel like I have some ideas about things that are wrong. It's like, oh yeah, N-word. Yeah, I'm not your friend anymore. That's the right thing to do. That is actually the step forward. I don't know what you would expect. Do you want them to kill them? Shoot them with a gun? Like, that's illegal. So disconnect yourselves from people like that. Actually, what you're supposed to do. It's weird how this kid is more responsible than a mother with a kid. What are you doing?
You are just doing the same thing to Lance that you were trying to do to me. You're
What?
not sorry. You're looking for clout.
That sounds like you.
So, yeah, if not having children like you meant something, yeah, I agree 100% with what Lance said. You're racist.
What's a racist? I don't know what the fuck that is. Oh, maybe she meant rhesus. You know what's fucked up? I got ice cream the other day, and I'm like, I want pistachio ice cream with peanut butter sauce, and I want Reese's Cups. Okay? Grubhub it. It comes in the mail. You know what I mean? Fucking Reese's Pieces. Why do they make Reese's Pieces? They always do this shit to me. Reese's Pieces are fucking worthless. They're terrible. I don't care what you think. They're bad. Okay? It just isn't doing it for me. Okay? It's still not really doing it for me. Especially if you're like, I want Reese's. Reese's Cups are 1,000 times better than Reese's Pieces. Okay? They're just gross, especially when they're cold. Oh, let me give you a little cold, like this little cold Reese's. No, I don't want that. I don't want. Yes, Skittles are better. I just don't know what it is about like the M&M that's too peanut buttery. I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, M&M's fine. Even Skittles, it's a different brand. I asked for fucking Reese's Cups, and you're gonna give me Reese's Pieces, right? You know what it is? Maybe it's more like it's like you ever take a drink of like water, but you think it's your like Sprite, and you're like, and then you're like, you know, because you're expecting it to be a Sprite. That might be what it is. But like dude, what a disappointment. And I don't care if you disagree with me. Fuck you. The Reese's Cups are superior. Just keep that in mind. All right, let's see what we got here. Got some more fun.
Me some very, hey guys, another creator made a video and accused me of some very serious things. Put your trust in me.
These might be in like a weird way.
Well, if it ain't the consequences of my own action.
Oh, well, we already proved that you lied, so.
You know, it's funny to me because there's people in his comments and in mine that are like, oh, you're coming after a kid now. You mean I'm talking about an experience that a person put me in? Oh, yeah. Then yeah, sure.
Well, not for nothing, but you did go in there with the intention of recording, which, by the way, you should do that. But this idea, it's like, he put me here. Nah, you wanted to catch him. And I don't blame you. If he had said the N-word, then fuck him. But you were like, I'm going to go in here, and I'm ready to get berated. I'm going to record it. And you said you recorded it, and then you don't have it because you didn't record. Like, no, because you said you recorded it because you have the recording, but it doesn't prove what you're saying, right? Now, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She might have thought that he said that, and so she said, I have the recording, you're fucked. And then he's like, I didn't actually say it. And she might have listened to it again and gone, oh shit, it's not in there. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. But you're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're fucking full of shit.
Sure, if that's how you want to see it. You know, it's funny, everyone's a kid until they get put in their place. No.
What?
You did an adult crime, you're going to get charged the adult time.
Fucking adult crime? What the fuck are we talking about?
So, yeah, I sent you a message this morning, so let's look at it. Now, I want to
Oh, you just already showed us this.
make sure you guys pause and read. This message was sent at 6:24 in the morning.
Okay. Why are you up so late or early? Not her. Makes sense for her. What the fuck is he doing up so early? Like, sleep. You're a kid. Go fucking do your shit.
Here, if you paused and read, you could tell I lay it all out on the line. He says, I assure you I don't approve of that and I don't interact with them anymore. I'm sorry that happened. So you apologize for... If this never happened, you suddenly apologize for everybody else?
Yeah, he apologizes that he was associating with people that are bad. These aren't really like super difficult things, you know?
Well, how kind of you. You apologize for everyone else's actions? What?
Yeah, that's pretty kind. Yeah. What are we doing? What's happening here? Yeah, that's pretty good. Hey, people that I associate with, people that were my friends, said horrible things to you, so I'm no longer their friend. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. You think you're a big, tough guy? Actually, pretty mature thing to do. What the fuck? It's a pretty mature thing to do. It's bizarre that he's more mature than that. I don't understand. Like, here's the thing. There might be valid criticisms, but these people don't use them. It's all bullshit. It's dumb. It's like, oh. It's like if they feel like if they say something in a dumb voice, then it makes it dumb. Oh. You gave a homeless guy $20? Wow, you're such a good person. Like, what do you have? Like, okay, it's a nice thing to do. Hey, you did a nice thing. I'm Cookie Monster. You know what I mean? It's like if you say it in a Cookie Monster voice, all of a sudden you're in a fucking asshole. It's so fucking stupid.
Wow. No, that's not how it works at all. Here's more of that conversation.
Let's see. You deserved an apology earlier. Okay. You put me in that group chat, watched, enjoyed the fun as they call black women horrible, racist things. You laughed, you made fun of me as well. I disliked you at the time, but since then I recognized some of my internal biases. Well, that's an interesting thing to say. Okay. It sounds you doing the same thing with Modern Warrior. Not really. I think the issue was mostly you kind of dox kids in your comments. Yeah, she did do that. You know the hate gets the hate he gets. You know how the racists have attacked it. He gets hate because he's race baiter. So shut the fuck up.
So pause and read. Now, you apologized to me right away when I sent that message because you knew exactly how bad it looked. And you were afraid that I was going to say something, in which I never was, but I had to now. Okay. Because I'm not going to let some punk kid constantly do this to sad. Other people of color.
This is so sad. This is pathetic. I'm not going to let this 16-year-old criticize adults. Okay.
Ignored it the first time. I'm not ignoring it anymore.
I honestly didn't realize you were such a virtuous person. Isn't it weird when people like they go the extra mile to make shit seem as bad as possible so that they can be the victim? It's kind of sad. Okay. Let's see. Faked his death for clout. Oh, see, this is where it gets super dishonest.
Faked his death for clout.
Yeah, this kid did fake his death for clout. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is why it's cancel culture. Cancel culture isn't calling somebody out. Cancel culture is bringing up the same thing that they did in the past every single time that there's something going on so that you can virtue signal about it. He did fake his death for clout. And you want to know what? I talked about it. And Curly Daddy 101 talked about it. I have a video on YouTube about it. And I talked to him in private. He's like, yeah, it was really shitty. I'm so sorry. Like, he was a fucking, 15 years old. It was really shitty. He's a fucking 15-year-old kid doing stupid shit. It was shitty. It's not fair to his followers that liked him. But, move on. He can apologize for this shit and move on. Shut the fuck up. You cancel. You've doxed kids. You know what I'm saying? That's my understanding. You're gonna act like, yo, look at this guy. This is everything. This is what she does. Mama Gut says she honestly just seems like a lonely adult who's taking her anger out from high school when everybody hates her because she's a nerd. Yeah, true. That's true. Let's see.
Clout.
Captioned until we meet.
Yeah. We already know about this. There's really no reason to watch it. If you want to watch it, go give me money and watch my video on YouTube. It's called fucking your favorite guy, one word, Papa Gut. Go look that up. Okay, we got enough of that. Okay, and this is just Modern Warrior perpetuating the same shit.
Hey guys, another creator made a video and accused me of some very serious things. Put your trust in me.
Well, if it ain't the consequences of my own actions.
Oh, it's just going to be a re-recording of what they said. And Modern Warrior is not going to give any dialogue on it. Okay. Well, that's totally fine. Fun stuff, guys. Fun stuff. I really enjoyed that. What a fucking waste of time, dude. Here we go. Here we go. Here it is right here. This TikToker faked his own death for clout. Oh, it's so sussy. So sussy, bro. Ooh, so sussy. You click on that. It gives you the information. I think I watched Curly's video. You can go give his video a watch instead if you want. Because I just steal other people's content. I'm just kidding. Why? But yeah, listen, bro. Stop engaging with Modern Warrior and Aunt Karen. They're not really worth the engagement. It's just kind of ridiculous at this point. It's just there's literally no reason to care anymore. The good thing is that they're probably going to come out that looking really petty anyway. So